How would I compare a Amazon with a smaller cockatoo, like a Major Mitchell or a Galah, since that's what I have? What would I say are the similarities and differences? Hey guys, I'm Kaylin, the author of The Parrot Bliss Bond and the new book, Get to Know African Gray Parrots and Cape Parrots. Both available on Amazon. Get your copy today if you want to improve your bond or if you want to learn about one of those two species. If you are used to hanging out, you know this is my yellow-naped Amazon Lorenza. You know I also have 3 other Amazons. And today we're going to compare them to 2 of our Australian girls, our Major Mitchell and our Galah. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started. So this was a really neat comparison because I thought that Amazons and small cockatoos, smallish cockatoos, like my Galah or Major Mitchell, the Major Mitchell's not really small, but anyway, size-wise, they're kind of comparable. Now, yellow-naped Amazons are one of the larger Amazons, but size-wise, they're kind of very comparable. Different parts of the world. This is a New World parrot. My pink girls are both, well, my Major Mitchell's in love with my husband, and so I can pick her up. She does let me, but she really just wants to be with him. And our Galah we rescued a couple weeks ago, and so she also wants to be with my husband. But I'm having a hard time handling her, so I'm gonna have to give you guys pictures. She hasn't quite warmed up to me. So differences. I really like the fact that their sizes are about the same, and actually their diets are very similar. These are both groups that are not really parrots that need additional nut fat or seed fat. Now the Australian girls, the Mitchell and the Galah, they can have some seeds that are low fat, like here I have some millet. Now, as soon as she sees it, watch her come back. It's like a magnet. Oh,
in the wild,
I can't believe it. Where are you going?
Around each other.
All right.
So
now I'm going to have like no one in my video, just
a
little parrot.
Seems to be flying over.
I know. I don't know where you're going, but you're supposed to be in the video.
Diva is a Major Mitchell.
We're showing them what you're like.
And we were like, wouldn't it be the greatest
We're showing them what you're like.
became friends?
They're also similar when it comes to sound, in the sense that, generally speaking, you can expect both of these species to be pretty loud. And, well, I say both these species, both of these continental species, right? Both are old world Australian girls, the Major Mitchell and the Galah, and our New World Amazons. Now, it just so happens that Lorenza's not too loud. My other 3 Amazons are. And it just so happens that when the Galah calls out, go,
she's like,
go.
Yeah.
It's almost like a turkey gobble, but it's far more cacophonous. It is a significant sound, but she's just not very loud. She just doesn't call out a whole lot, which is kind of nice. And our Major Mitchell, unless something is really scaring her, she doesn't really call out either. So we're kind of fortunate because they don't make a lot of noise. Our macaw and our Amazons and the coyotes are the worst ones. So sound-wise, I do feel like they're different sounds, but they're pretty comparable. I don't know about like the decibels, but my guess is they're pretty comparable. Another similarity is that they, both the new and old world here, really bond, really bond. Now, when you have an Amazon, you have like a best friend. But the thing about it is, your Amazon is going to be your best friend and your best friend only. Hi, sweetie. Now what are you going to do? Now what are you going to do? I put you on your back. Now what? Okay. There you go. You're supposed to hang out with me. You're usually so good at it. You're usually so good at it. That was my macaw. So they're going to make this incredible bond. You're their best friend. If you were a parrot, they would mate with you. But the downside is that any other human can't come within a certain number of feet of you, or they're going to bite whoever they run into first, which is usually like you. Now, My major Mitchell and my Galah, they seem to, well, my Mitchell definitely prefers my husband. Diva's in love with my husband. Bella, our Galah, she's new and she likes him, but in both their cases, it doesn't mean that they are going to attack other people. With Lorenza, who keeps disappearing, what are you looking at now? I think she sees a potential, like, nest box, which it's not. This is an old television. It's behind the couch because we're going to probably hang it on the wall. She just sees darkness, and anytime they see dark, it's like, nest box. Not that she's going to do anything with the nest box. She's too old. But anyway, so they have that that similarity that it's going to be a strong bond. In my birds, I find that my old world girls, they might be bonded to my husband, but they'll let other people pet them, at least to some extent. They'll let other people pick them up. Not the same, like, not the same though, and as it would be with the one person that they're bonded to.
Sort of makes sense.
My Amazons are known as one-person parrots, and that means that they only bond with one person and one person only. You can make a sauce if you want for what's on the. I didn't have a sauce. I did the brags for the meat, but that's it. And watch the door. Someone just flew.
Thanks for joining me.
Next similarity. These are messy. Well, you know what? My old world girls, my Mitchell and my Galah, are messier. Well, maybe not the Galah so much. Our Mitchell, like, you could tell she's been there for 5 seconds because she makes a mess. My Amazon's not that messy. The Amazons aren't. And one reason is because unless they're eating something like the millet, which if you shake it sometimes, I don't think you guys can see it, but I'm getting millet snow. Unless they're eating something like that, they don't have seeds, they don't have nuts, so it's just not a shelly mess. They're not that messy. The Galah, you know, so far she's not that messy. Now they do like to bite away at things. I am amazed at how much my Mitchell and my Galah like to bite wood. And my Mitchell goes through wood so fast, I can't make purchase for her to chew up fast enough. She will go through like 2 in a day. I've never seen a parrot, not even big macaws, I've never seen them go through wood like that. Phenomenal. It may be like a nervous thing. It may not be. I don't know. My Galah likes to chew wood too, but you know, I mean, they all like chew the cud kind of thing, chew the wood. They all do that, all parrots, but not the way the Mitchell does. I don't know if that's unique to her or the species. So the messiness, like, yeah, they're a little messy. They're not really bad. There's other parrots that are far messier. Now, when it comes to the talking, Amazons are one of your best talkers. They're up there with big cockatoos. They're up there with African greys. Amazons can be because they aren't all, but they can be phenomenal talkers and even singers. Henry, our mealy Amazon, I think he would put opera singers to shame. So their ability to vocalize that way is phenomenal. With the old school girls, the Mitchell and Galah, generally speaking, I think the males are going to be more of the talkers, and you can get, we've seen Galahs, male Galahs that can talk pretty good. Again, not as good as an Amazon, but like our girls, no talking. I don't think they even say like hi, like nothing. So that tells me that with those old school cockatoos that size, you know, they can talk. Amazons, sometimes they don't talk, kind of thing. Like they're much more likely to be talkers. Told you about the one person. You know, another thing, I was kind of trying to really compare the two, and I was like, maybe the old school or old world girls are more calm, but I don't think that's really true. They are, I do feel like they're pretty calm, but Miss Tail in the air here, she's pretty calm too. My Amazons, they're loud. They're not calm. Smaller parrots can be more active and they're like flying all over the place. So you could say that they're not calm, but I feel like my Amazons are not nervous birds. Of course, our Mitchell, she's nervous. She she's a little skitty and nervous. I don't know if that's just her or if that's typical of Major Mitchell's. Our Galah, she's adjusting. You know, she just hasn't quite been here for a month, or maybe it's been a month, but like just, you know, larger birds, when you pick up a larger bird, when you adopt a rescue like that, it takes them a couple of years to really, really feel at home. They have to make new relationships. They have to get to know a new lifestyle, you know, all these things. So it might look like they adjust in a couple of months, maybe 6 months, but they just don't fully adjust, and they don't bond deeply for a year or two kind of thing. So our Galah is a little, you know, kind of a little aware and a little skitty, but she's in the adjustment period, so I don't think that quite applies to her. So in trying to think of differences between my Amazon, who's being a Houdini, she's usually glued to my side. But, you know, I was trying to think of like a difference, because they are very different parrots, very different. I couldn't, like, I was like, well, maybe the Amazons are more aggressive, and they are. They can be a more confident and don't mess with me kind of bird, by all means. Whereas I feel like I can kind of say that the Mitchell and the Galah, they're a little more, they're not going to deal with confrontation. They're just going to kind of pull away. So I feel like my Amazons are a little more aggressive that way, a little more ready to kind of have a fist fight than the dusty girls, because that's another really big difference. And something that you might need to keep in mind in case you have any kind of allergies or asthma or anything. Amazons, well, I find all parrots do have some, you know, some dust, dander kind of thing, but when it comes to the cockatoo family, they are pretty dusty. They don't have an oil, like the oil glands that Lorenza has, or that most of the New World parrots, maybe all of the New World parrots, are going to have to oil their feathers, and that's what they run along their feathers. The Australian girls, they have dust. Now, that dust, if it doesn't bother you, because it makes a fine layer of dust, so you do have to constantly clean, but if it doesn't bother you, they are softer than a cloud. They are softer than cotton. Like a cotton ball is not soft. They are just like, you pet them and it's like there's softness on your finger. It's probably the dust. They're just so incredibly soft. Their feathers are so beautiful. My Major Mitchell, of course, is known as the most beautiful in the cockatoo family, and the Galah with her rose coloring, just so pretty. So I hope that gives you some good ideas on some of the similarities and differences. It's so funny. I mean, I really thought it was a good comparison, because I do think there are so many similarities. Even though their colors are so different, their dust is so different, their continents are so different. Thank you for joining me in this blissful video. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to post them below. And please give me a thumbs up if you like the video. It helps my channel's juice. Thanks, and I'll catch you next time. One last thing about these two species, guys, is, I should say 3 species, but cockatoos in general and Amazons, they are 2 out of the 3 most rehomed parrots. They aren't like my Pionis. My Pionis is pretty quiet. He's pretty easygoing. He's pretty sweet. And so when I asked Bird Gardens of Naples if she ever gets Pionises, so I'd have a buddy for this guy, the answer was no. So that means that you have to really know how to handle and take care of an Amazon or a cockatoo. So just be aware of that, because as long as that's not a problem, then you won't have to surrender your parrot.